Now, before you click away, I want to make sure you know about two other informative videos that help me understand and appreciate K-pop Demon Hunters a little bit more. One is an interview with its creator, Maggie Kang. That's on the Channel Q with Tom Power. That's the name of the channel. And there's also a very informative video by Talk to Me in Korean on the Korean words and wordplay used in this film's lyrics and its dialogue and its names that lends appropriate double entendres to the dialogue that I found pretty interesting. For instance, did you know that Gwi-ma is just a play on Ma Gui, meaning demon ghost? And I'll throw in another awesome video by the Arcadian Atlas on the character of Zoe in this film and the traits that she recognized as autistic. She really convinced me by the end that this is probably what's going on with that character, and now I'll always see the character Zoe through that lens. So great video there. You see what you miss when you click away too soon? I spend a lot of time talking about movies that you're less likely to see. Not always, but often. But this Netflix original is having a big moment right now, and the entire roughly 5th grade population that I'm familiar with has its music on the brain as well, and probably some younger and much older audiences too. I did ask my daughter if she'd like to watch it together, but she's saving it for an upcoming sleepover with her friends, which kind of speaks to its currency right now in the culture. The film follows the story of K-pop singing trio Huntrix as they take the Korean pop charts by storm over and over with their hit songs. Now they're following in the footsteps of girl trios throughout history, all of whom, did you know, maintain the balance of light and darkness in the overworld. That's our world up here, from falling into the clutches of Gwi-ma, the dark spirit of the demon realm, down there. They do it by elevating hearts and minds, banishing fear and hate, and striving for something which in their songs is described as golden, which I took to mean, our purest nature, which is also the name of their biggest hit song. And it's one that you'll find probably stuck in your head for a while. Now, these timeless girl bands have moved the needle of lightness steadily away from the darkness. Oh, and they all hunted demons in their spare time. Always have. So with darkness in danger, curious twist on the usual type of plot, Gwi-ma amasses his demon hordes and calls for some ideas before the Hun Moon, which is the energy barrier between darkness and light, turns golden and impenetrable forever, trapping the demons below. So who will save evil? Enter young minion Jinu, who made a deal with the demon lord ages ago to save himself from poverty and starvation in exchange for his soul, it seems. All he had to do was abandon his family, horribly, at the gates of the palace and leave them to starve outside while embracing the Dark Lord. Now, you might say that's an unforgivable act, and well, it really is, but not irredeemable, it seems. Nuance. And here the film wades into some deeper philosophical waters. Jinu is doomed to hear Gwi-ma's voice in his head for all eternity, mocking him and making him feel worthless for his weakness in making that choice, while also providing him a purpose to serve him and feel a little bit more of value. That's kind of a favorite tactic of demons, both earthly and otherwise, if you know what I mean. Jinu invents a boy band called Saja Boys to steal the hearts and minds of the fickle humans away from Huntrix, weakening the Hun Moon barrier, now even further diminished by lead singer Rumi's ever-impending loss of her voice. Why is that happening? Because unbeknownst to her friends, Rumi is half demon. She's been living a lie since she was a little girl just to survive in the world. Now her mature voice can't sing these odes to goodness and light, and her patterns and demonic features are growing and becoming almost impossible to hide. Huntrix's songs are also becoming desperate and hateful in the face of the Saja Boys' success, and none of the girls in the trio feels like themselves anymore. All of their inner demons are coming out and falling prey to the growing darkness in the K-pop world. Will Mira and Zoe, the other two members of the band, accept Rumi once it's clear she's a demon? Will Jinu really love Rumi and stay in the overworld with her if they can manage to defeat Gwi-ma together? We've got Romeo and Juliet, we've got Turning Red, we've got anime conventions melded with Western animation, we've got ancient Korean folklore that serves a modern plot seamlessly, and we've got some really strong songs that pull at the heartstrings and elevate the story perfectly in sync with the character's journey. And it's a journey worth taking. When the world is black and white, or just good and evil, there's probably some truth lurking and hiding in the gray. And the world might need a new perspective, a new synthesis from its youth. But having watched it now, I see why K-pop Demon Hunters is maybe not really a good daddy-daughter movie. Lots of girl pal moments, lots of love, hate, teen emotions about boys and finding yourself and your place in the world, despite the judgment from the old guard. And it stands to reason that even within the world of the film itself, all the parental figures are, either left in the distant past or hopelessly out of touch with this new generation. And not comically so, but tragically so. And maybe that's an observation about our modern world. Whatever the reason, young people might prefer watching this with other young people. If you're a parent, especially one struggling to help a child with any sort of alienation, the point is, it doesn't matter why someone feels torn. They just do. And if it's your job to assist them in finding their path, then maybe watch this movie and take a lesson from it. They're the heroes we need right now, or maybe some of our kids need. And I think that's part of the key to this movie's big success. Now, full disclosure, if you're an old fogarty like me, you might not get the big feelings that it's meant to evince right away. But stick with it. I found myself frankly giving this movie the benefit of the doubt for probably more than the first half. Up to that, it's entertaining, it's got catchy songs, it's got lovely visuals and badass fight scenes that everyone can get a kick out of. Now, the violence is soft-pedaled in this movie, and it's highly stylized. It might be a little off-putting for very young viewers, but it's pretty well balanced. But no, I didn't get those big feelings that the film is becoming known for until the main character, Rumi, started to embrace her darker side and question her caregiver stepmother's wisdom and outdated worldview, and then begin to imagine and synthesize and realize and hope for a better world than previously was ever even allowed under the old regimes. That should ring a loud bell for all of us these days, because it sure does for our kids' generation. And K-pop Demon Hunters really leans into that need for open-mindedness and the tragic lack of it out there these days in our polarized times. Now, if you're curious about the genesis of this story, above and beyond what we talked about here, there's that video that I mentioned linked in the description. It's an interview with the film's creator, and also that interesting video on the Korean wordplay. I think he's done 2 of them by now, and the interesting Arcadian Atlas take as well on Zoe. Check those videos out. And check out K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. I bet you'll be hearing about this one during award season. Hang in there till the feelings kick in midway, but your older kids might love this movie from the very first note. So get used to these songs. They've got legs. Please subscribe if you like the channel, peruse my t-shirt shop below for some shameless movie-themed merch of my own, or just hit the like button if you prefer. I appreciate all your support. Thank you to everyone who's pitched in or supported the channel in any way recently. I'm deeply grateful. Okay, see you soon.